In this video, I am going to talk about the process of connecting a domain name to Builderall, and I'm going to cover some tips for troubleshooting. If you're new to my channel, I discuss strategies and techniques for building email lists. If you're interested in learning more about email list building, then check out the first link in the description for more information. All right, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over here to Builderall. I'm currently signed into my Builderall account. And from here, I'm just going to enter the Cheetah web builder. It's going to load up and bring me to a site that I've created. And this is literally just a capture site. I'll go ahead and preview it for you so you can see what it looks like. Go over here, go to the website. And I just made a basic capture page that, it says a title here, a little image, and then just an opt-in box where it's asking for your email and first name, and then just register now, and then it takes you through a process. But what I want to do is, if you notice up here at the top in the URL, it is not my domain name, it is a Cheetah Builderall domain name. So what we want to do is go back on over here and go into the site, edit it, and if you scroll down here along the left, what you'll see is where it says Connect Domain. So we'll click that. In the field, I'm going to type in listbuildingresource.com. Now notice I didn't put HTTP or www or anything like that. All we want is a domain name with your extension, the .com, .org, .club, .whatever. And then come down here and click Save. It'll ask you if it's correct. Go ahead and make sure that it's spelled correctly. And click Save. Okay, and now it comes back and it told me at the bottom that it was successfully connected. But now what I need to do is I need to point to the servers from my registrar. So the registrar that I use is Namecheap, and I'm already signed into my dashboard here. And as you can see, listbuildingresource.com is the first one up here. So what I want to do is I want to come up here and manage this domain. Now, all registrars will have something similar to this, and it'll be laid out somewhere along the way. You'll find it, and all you need to do is just, if you can't find it, just ask the registrar that you're using. So that brings me up to being able to manage the domain listbuildingresource.com, and if I scroll down right here where it says name servers, it defaults to Namecheap Basic DNS. So I want to do a drop down here, and I want to say a custom DNS, and it gives me a spot for name server 1 and name server 2. Where do I get that information? Well, over here in Builderall, if you go into the knowledge base and you type in name servers, how do I set up DNS with correct name servers? Click this, and it shows you an article and even a video on how to do that. But down here they have a list of the name servers based on what you're using to connect with. We're using the Cheetah builder, so we're going to use this name server and this name server. So I'm going to copy the first one, come back over here to Namecheap, paste it in, and go back on over to my document, copy the second one, and paste it in. Click Save. And that now is a custom DNS with pointing to these two name servers. And that's all you need to say. It says up here at the top it may take up to 48 hours. And let's just confirm what's going on here. Let's go ahead and bring up a new browser and type in listbuildingresource.com. building resource, and it says the site cannot be reached. Now, I'll show you just a minute ago before I changed that, this is what it looked like. But now that I've changed it from Namecheap, it says it cannot be reached. So even though it says it takes 48 hours, it may take 10 minutes, it may take a day. I've never actually had it take 48 hours, but just a couple hours, typically at most. Sometimes just a few minutes. If you find that you've gone too long, even a day, I'd start questioning whether or not you put in the right domain names, the domain servers. So come back on over here and check it out. Go back on over to the document, make sure that what you have copied, you didn't copy this little hash or anything like that. Just make sure that it's correct. Like I said, I've never had it actually take 48 hours. I think what they do is kind of surprise and delight. They tell you 48 hours even though it doesn't take that long to propagate. So I'll come back in an hour or a couple hours and check to see if this is then resolving. This is refresh it, and that's resolving. So what we want to see is, I want to see this without that name. We want to see it with this name here. So I'll come back in a couple hours and check that out. Okay, we're back, and it's been a few hours since I set up the connection with the domain, and now I'm just going to go ahead and try to connect up and see what happens. You can see here when I type in list building resource, what's coming up here is the Builderall icon where it says my cheetah website home. Now let's see if it actually resolves at this point. Okay, great. So now it's pulling up the page with my domain. So it's resolving, everything is connected. It's working as it should. So what I want to show you now are just a couple of tools within Builderall that you can monitor your progress of actually what's going on as far as the propagation of the DNS servers and so forth. And the way to do that, the first thing you want to do is come on over here, and you notice that I've installed this app, and you can find it right underneath Builderall's apps. And if you come over here where it says others and it says DNS Manager, the DNS Manager is this app right here. So when we enter that, it loads up and it brings us to my domains. PursuitPush.xyz was a domain that they gave me for free. I didn't use it. It came with the account, and it's attached to their sales funnel. But the one that I just worked with was the listbuildingresource.com. You can see here that it's connected to the Cheetah drag and drop web builder, and that it shows you the region and the status, and then down over here you can see view details, and then what it brings up here is the status and so forth of the domain. And you can see down here that the Builderall servers are the servers that I connected to my Namecheap account. And the thing that I want to draw your attention to is that with Builderall you get, let me bring that back up, you get an SSL certificate automatically attached. You don't have to purchase it separate or don't have to install it separate. You will have to do that if you had your own host like Bluehost or Namecheap hosting or something of that nature. You would have to have an SSL attached to it, and I know with Namecheap, because I've had it before, that it's about an additional $7 a year. Not a great deal of money, but it's something extra that I had to do when I was using a hosting service, and I was using WordPress to create my websites. Now, why is the SSL important? If you're not familiar with that, the biggest thing that I can give you is that when you come up here and you look at the listbuildingresource.com, your domain name, right next to it you see this little lock right here. If that SSL is not there, it's going to say not secure. And when somebody comes to your site, they look up, they see that, and it doesn't give them a warm and fuzzy. So you want to give the people a warm and fuzzy, and that's why it's important. Again, if you were using WordPress and you were using your own host and you had to pay for it, and if it didn't come with your hosting plan, which it doesn't with Namecheap, it's only an extra $7 or $8, and then you have to go through and attach that, install it, and it expires every year. But with Builderall, it's just automatic. I didn't have to do anything. It just attaches to it, and then when it's all done and connected and resolves, I now get the little lock, and I don't have that little scary not secure for any viewers that come see this. The other thing I wanted to show you was that how you can look to see the progress of the connection. So what I want to do is bring up a website that is the ICANN. lookup.icann.org, and that's going to bring up ICANN's lookup. And I've already done this, so you can see it auto filled in here. If you'd never been here before, you're not gonna have an autofill. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that, and we're going to look this up. And what it will show you is once these servers are shown out in the world, it's going to have your name servers listed right here. So when the progress is happening, when you've actually connected it and you went over to your registrar and you've put your name servers in there, you can go to the ICANN website and look that up to see if those are in there. It's just one of the things you can check to make sure that everything is going okay. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you can come over here, bring up a blank web browser, and go to dnschecker.org. And when you get here, what you can do is come up over here where it says DNS check, do a drop down, and what we want to do is we want to check the name servers. So type, or just select NS, put in your domain name. Here I've already done this, so I will go ahead and pop that in. And what it's going to do is it's going to come back and show you all these regions. What you're looking for is check marks, green check marks, all down along here. And that is an indication that the name servers for your domain have propagated all over the domain name servers that are all over the planet. So those are just two ways to check to see that your domain is making progress. If you had X's in here and a few of these, then the process is not done yet and you needed to wait until the propagation is complete. Now, if you can't remember what I just told you and you don't come back to this video, what you can do in Builderall is come on over here to Builderall, go into the Cheetah drag and drop website builder, and click the knowledge base. And then in the search field, just type domain. And then down here where it says, I connected my domain, but it's not working, what can I do? If you click that, it's going to bring up an article and some instructions on what to do. Down here, this video that's embedded will tell you exactly what I just showed you, as well as it has a few other suggestions that if you believe that it's not working correctly, things you can do. So with that, that's the process of connecting your domain with Builderall in Cheetah.